Somebody check. Okay,
okay. We good? All right.
Yep.
And Shalom, Shalom. We are the brothers of the from the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ba'aklash.
double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers doing this work with truth and sincerity. All right, to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen that look like those heathen, and to the Aquaf that are listening and learning. All right, so real quick, I'm going to just open with a scripture. This is Ecclesiastes 25:7, and it reads, "There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have the joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy." You know, come on, class. We're literally witnessing the fall of Esau Edom.
That's right.
All right, they're infighting, they're tearing each other up, and their system is literally collapsing underneath them.
In the face.
All right, it's literally and they're distracting with bread and circus nonstop.
Yep.
You know, and you know, I mean, it's just happening, man. What's that scripture say? We will laugh at their calamity.
Yeah.
You know. And while we got a video on deck, we probably won't play the whole video, but we're gonna play portions of it. Matter of fact, we probably will play through it, stop it, and then, you know, through the spirit. Commentate and bring out scriptures. That's probably how we'll do this thing this evening. But it's of a sheriff. And we were having a conversation before we went live, how the average sheriff has a different mindset from the average street cop. All right, they don't have the same mindset. And sheriffs, for the most part, sheriffs are usually really gung-ho about the Constitution and America, rah-rah, you know. Most cops are just on the job to collect a check, or so they can get paid to beat up niggas and spiggers.
Mm-hmm.
Profit off of it. And profit off of it, you know. I mean, that's generally why they're there, all right? They're not there because they're just gun-ho for their country and stuff. Mm-hmm. But the average sheriff is really, you know, your Constitution, stand up, hand over the heart at every game, saluting. That's their mindset. And they, you know, matter of fact, they didn't even want to enforce a lot of these unrighteous decrees that were being pushed out that actually goes against the Constitution, like a lot of these gun laws. A lot of gun laws aren't laws at all. The legislation, there's just the, well, you know, mandates that they push.
Yeah, proclamation.
All right. Yeah, it's just like the just to give you an example, the whole thing with the AR in the state of Illinois, you know, with the stock. You get an AR, you take the little stock off, and now your AR is legal. All right. Well, if you already have one, because you can't. If you don't have one, you can't buy one. Right. All right, legally. All right, and if you have a stock on it, you take that little bitty plastic piece off, which is not gonna, because you still got the stem. You still can put the butt on you and still use it the same way. But if you take that little plastic piece off, then it's legal. You put the plastic piece on, you're a felon. It's the stupidest thing.
With the hand braces too. With the grips.
If you got that grip.
Yeah, full grip.
Yeah. So there you go. Right. So you buy the AR, you put the little grip that you hold like this.
They sell it and say, don't put it on there. You can't put it on there.
But that's selling.
But don't put it on there.
It's gonna make it illegal.
Yeah, because really Esau wants you fighting back, because what it's actually doing is adding more stability to your
Yeah,
fight.
that's what it does.
And they don't want you to have basically
a clean shot.
It makes it more stable.
Yeah.
Even if you injured, you still, because you just got solid points of contact. And, you know, so that's what it's really about.
This is Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her. And so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go, everyone into his own country, for her judgment reaches into heavens, and it is lifted up even to the skies. Esau Edom has done corrupted the whole plant, and here in America, now, which was been the whore sitting up on the top of, you know, the glory of all Esau nations. Now you got a sheriff. He's one of the elites of their nations, You have these Edomites, and I remember the video we did a couple of weeks ago of the one lady sighing and crying. The Esau, we're in the middle of a fall. Like the lesson is, it's here. Babylon is falling as we speak.
As we speak.
We're in the middle of the collapse. Financially, we were healed her. It's not going to be no healing to this financial system, to every system. How many bubbles were there before the COVID?
Exactly, and which is why when COVID kicked off, America was still in the middle of a retail apocalypse that never stopped. Right, and it just goes to show you, can somebody get this? Is there no more wisdom in teaming? Because I mean, what person thinks that you could spin your way out of poverty, that you can spin your way out of deficit? It really makes no sense, because America is a debt-based society, all right, and a consumer-based society. You can't consume, buy your way into prosperity, because if that's happening, that means a small percentage of the people in the population is getting wealthy from the consumer, while the other ones are just spending all their money. And then when a rainy day comes, they ain't got nothing.
And that coincides with the statistics that's ever since 2019 with the vid, that the rich have gotten over 100% richer. I forgot what it was, like 200 or 300% richer, and everyone else has gotten poorer.
Well, he gives you a statistic in this video we're gonna play after the scripture.
All right,
Go ahead, brother.
this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 7. It says, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is there wisdom
I mean, this
vanished?
is the scholars, man. These are the people who the scripture said they're wiser than Daniel. Use all this wisdom. Knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. Right?
No, they set forth policy that destroyed their country, that destroyed their way of living, that destroyed their family life, and all that was aimed at Jacob, but it's backfired, because now it's happening to them. Now there's a new movement with Arab women wanting to be with black men. That's all over the internet now. So Ishmael, he's losing his women, and why is he losing his women? Because Westernism has invaded West Asia. There's no such thing as the Middle East.
Okay.
I just want to keep, put that out there. That's a made-up terminology, like saying black. All right. The Middle East is a made-up social construct to elevate white superiority. All right. But that's West Asian. So now you got Western Asian women that are seeking to be with Negro men, and they go to show you how destroyed these so-called Negro men are. They want to be with Negro men now because they say that, not only because Negro men have really good, nice cucumbers or big personalities. Outside of that part, then what they're saying is that they're securing themselves and they don't worry about you going to work and making your own money. That's the westernized men, because the men in the Arab world actually have it right. As far as the woman not being free to gad about and just wear whatever she wants to wear and all that other shit. But anyway, we'll kind of stay on point. Let's get to that video, and then we're gonna let brothers bring out scriptures as we go.
All right, here's one second. Also, this one. Let's do the counter board at the top. Action. So the values
This is Gen X reaching out to you millennials. I don't know how you're doing it, and I can tell you, our economy's shot. But it's not just the United States, it's in the UK, it's in Canada. I actually watched somebody not too long ago from Canada. They want to know how things were in the US. Well, it's not any better.
Pause it right there. Any brother got a scripture? I got one in mind.
It was just the one we read in Babylon. Go ahead, but someone I got to add full scripture right now.
But I was gonna make a point. That video he mentioned, I didn't peep when I first watched it. They mentioned that video. I saw that video. There was a bitch in Canada complaining about not being able to afford the cost of living in Canada, and she got the nerve to say, "I have to move. I'm in my parents' house. I make this amount of money. I can't get my own place. I wasn't in America." It's the same, bitch. The whole world has been tricked. Esau, they say he's agreed. Because his prime doesn't keep at home. He can't be satisfied. He's greedy. He got control over the whole world, man. That was his blessing in Genesis 27 to get to do it in heaven and earth, man.
That's right.
So Esau Edom has taken and got control over the whole planet, man.
That's right.
Now, with get control over the planet, what did he do, man? All right, he put everybody on a debt-based system. Everybody got a central bank. Everybody owes money to a select few bankers, man. All right, the Esau's put everybody into slavery, man. Point blank, period.
And
And that goes back to the Jeremiah 51:7. He said that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wines. The nations are mad. That's why she's crying like, well, why is this happening here? That's why if you mentioned the Nord Stream pipeline being busted,
That has caused a shitstorm
over in Europe.
In Europe, Europeans are panicking because they're actually going to have no power with this.
yeah,
And,
'cause
and,
women.
and they're blaming it on America. Let me read this real quick. This is Revelation 18:3. It says, "For all the nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication,
There you go.
and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." So as these people got rich, they were effing over their own constituents. They were effing over the other people. All right. So now what's happening is these Europeans always supporting America, and in America, with his America First policy, the Americans have never really cared about their partners. And if you can't see that now, you know, they all see it, because when they blew that pipeline, okay, they cut off all that power from all the Europeans. Germany being some of the main people to get affected, right? And so now they started Chevron started expediently putting billions into the pipeline that was going through Africa, and it's going to branch out to all these different parts of Europe, because Africa is right. Europe is just right across the Mediterranean, and even shorter in some places. So they had all this giant pipe coming up and was going to branch off into all these different parts of Europe. And now the Africans have kicked all the Edomites out and said, no, your pipeline will not go. You will not pass go. You will not collect $200. Fuck you. And so it's all backfiring on them. And so now they're panicking. And what's that doing? That's making the countries, a lot of American partners, run to the BRICS. All right, they're going to the BRICS. Go ahead, brother.
This Obadiah 1:7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
Mm-hmm.
The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee.
Right.
They that ate thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Their bread is going to their money, their financial system. All right, and they into these contracts, but now they're playing. How you've been shady with them? Every contract Esau has started with any other nation has been one-sided. Now they're doing it back to you.
So when y'all cease to spoil,
Yeah,
The
South
bills
Southeast
for it,
Florida.
right?
That's even with the BRICS.
Yeah, Turkey.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The BRICS, they value their BRICS dollar to one BRICS dollar is you need 55
American dollars.
for
Man.
one BRIC dollar. We are now. It's here. We are a third world
That's
country.
that's a
But-
financial nuke.
But that's the same thing that they had there. Henry Kissinger had negotiated that if you wanted to go get this OPEC oil, you had to buy the American dollar. And so now you want $1.5 billion of oil, you got to produce $4 billion to buy this shit from me, so I can give you $1 billion, $1.5 billion to go get this shit.
And that goes to show you, Esau Edom, he's gonna have to accelerate this MOTB because he's not gonna have nothing else after this.
Which is why he's planning all these lockdowns and the new variant and all this other stuff is all getting ready to happen.
Oh yeah, that's why the world is going digital. Even though the BRICS, it is a blow to America, but this is all part of the one world government shit. They're gonna use it
They're gonna do it too.
because what's going on in Africa? They're going digital. Nigeria's going completely digital.
Yep.
Yeah.
And who are they working with? The Russians.
Putin.
They all going digital.
Yeah.
All right, just like when China devalued the yuan, it came out that it was the IMF that told them to do so. So it hurt America and built the Chinese economy, but this was at the request of the fucking bankers.
Right, of the IMF. So this goes to show you that they're playing favors now. They're done with America.
Right.
That's why America's being
Yeah.
shitted on. They're done with America because even they're going digital, but the difference being is that with the BRICS nation, they actually backing their digital shit with gold.
Yeah.
That's the that's the selling point.
That's how they
That's the selling point. So I don't know if they actually gonna do that. But
Right.
it's definitely the
Right.
selling point.
It's the same trick with America. That's how they got the countries to lock in with the USD.
Yeah.
Oh, it's backed by gold.
Yeah.
I know we can all use this set price point, convert your business over into dollars. Then Reagan get up in there Yeah, Reagan, he got rid of the Bretton Woods, I believe. Took that gold right out. We got the oil deal, so y'all still good. The same plan.
Yeah,
But this time, the nation's gonna get. But this time, the nation's gonna be pissed, man. All right, it says Russia's gonna have an evil thought. They through with you. Soon they're gonna be through with you elites. All right, they're gonna bomb America and Israel, man.
Yeah, because they
That's
got
right.
their own elites. They got
Salaki, brother. I don't want to lose this thought because I was actually going to do a lesson on it. Because I watched that movie again, Outside the Wire.
Mm-hmm.
That movie is so fucking deep. You really gotta watch that movie about 3 or 4 times because to really catch all the meat on the bone that's that's in this movie. And there's a scene when the redhead chick is talking to the lieutenant who's a sellout coon. All right.
Always.
Completely. All right. But she said basically the AI thing, which is why this AI is really it's AI is controlled.
100%.
The AI is controlled, and Benji proved that with the conversation that he had one.
Right.
Now the first AIs that they actually let them go, and with the MIT thing and all the evidence that disappeared off the internet because that AI said eliminate Edomites, eliminate white people.
Right.
All right, so all AIs that are out there now are still programmed. They get programmed then released.
Mm.
So this particular AI, all right, this American war machine that they created, this AI went rogue because this AI it couldn't rationalize trying to make an immoral act righteous.
Well, okay.
So its AI, it was like, wait a minute. So basically the AI saw that, wait, it's America. I'm on the team that's really fucking everything up. And that's what, I don't know if you realize, but that's what that movie was about. The AI realized that America was a problem. The American military was a problem because the damn lieutenant's trying to argue, this is a peace mission. And she's like, please. She said the Russians want peace. All the Russians want is their territories back. And I was like, God damn.
That's the black dude in it.
Right.
Okay, I remember that movie.
Yeah, she said all the Anthony Mack played the AI, the robot.
Yeah.
It's like a cyborg, like a humanoid robot with this shit. I'm like, God damn. They put it, and then there's another scene when he said, why do you think that they chose my face?
Yeah.
Yep.
He said they could have made me blonde hair, blue eyed, good old Captain America. But he said, but you know what? He said my face represents neutrality, which proves that the world sees that face as wickedness. The world sees that face as an oppressor. The world sees that face as the problem. So, and that also means that the world sees the so-called black man, all right, the so-called black man in America. That means the world knows that they're victims.
That's right.
That they're being victimized because his face represented neutrality, because now this black, so-called black face can go in places where this red pale face couldn't and do diplomatic missions and things of that nature because no one felt threatened by him because everybody knew that this guy is getting shitted on in his own country. All right? And so that movie is hella deep, man. Brothers,
What's the name of it again?
Outside the Wire.
Outside the
Outside.
wire.
Once you watch it, you'll remember.
Yeah, once you watch it, you'll remember.
Yeah.
But you gotta really watch it, and you can't be on your phone when you gotta really watch that movie.
What is it on?
It was on Netflix.
I think it's still on
Yeah,
Netflix.
It's still on Netflix. Hey, Elder,
I did see. I remember that.
I also want to say, also the world looks at Jacob as being next to and as
You
Satan.
saw what the Filipino chick said.
Yeah, and that one.
She said that the so-called black man it was put here to protect the earth from the devil.
Yeah.
And one Elon chick,
I was just about to say that,
she
yeah.
said, niggas need to come back.
But you
Let's
come
get out
back.
there and get our power.
Yeah.
They know we from the east.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that, man.
Yeah.
You guys
All right.
in America.
Even what's so crazy is Africa. A lot of Africans is that at one point the land of Israel was run by Canaanites.
Yeah. Right.
That's the part they don't like to mention. That Africans ruled the so-called Middle East.
The Western Asia.
Great thing.
The place that you call the Middle East is Western Asia, and he's absolutely right. The Canaanites were the Philistines. What you call what the Philistine is, the modern day way of saying the Philistine is Palestine.
Yeah, you Palestinians not even a real Palestinians.
You're not. You're
Right.
Ishmaelites.
Right.
You're converts. Matter of fact, get Joel real quick, and we'll get right back on point. Right in the book of Joel, the Hamites and you Ishmaelites and all you other heathens went into that land.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, this Joel 3:1. For behold, in those days and in that time, and I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, So everything about the read through is the end of our slavery.
Yep.
It's the Lord redeeming us right here. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment.
Yep.
That's World War III. That's Zephaniah 3 and 8. That's why we're seeing the tension within the world right now. Whether it's based off financial shit or the people looking at America and Britain, all right, as colonizers. You have the one Hamite. This is a complete Hamite too.
That's a good word. And people saw the face of that sheriff as a colonizer.
Yeah,
Which is why they didn't make him the face of the AI super soldier.
that's right. And she made a joke about it. Like, you come to our country and basically make yourself as an angel of light, and then get mad when we come to your country. Well, don't come to our shit putting up this image. And you really hate us doing our resources. So the word is realizing that's all you want.
Right.
But they so bugged out. Soon they're going to realize that's all the pale males. Because you got Hamites still talking about, well, America can't fuck with us because look who's with us now, Russia and China.
Mhm.
And the Russians are the same Edomites, man.
Yep. Hey, it was crazy.
That's right.
What I believe Putin doing, what I strongly believe what Putin is doing by putting those images up, because they dark skinned, he making them Hamites think that was them, when really that was us.
Now the Hamites know the difference.
They know the difference.
The Hamites know that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
The Hamites clearly know that was us. I disagree with that.
I don't.
That's just to cause more division.
No. What Arala is trying to say is Putin's putting those images up because the deals he's making with the Africans to say, look, I'm cool with y'all.
Morality.
Because he not working with his Hamites, he working with Israelites in Africa too. He with Nigeria. He got So Putin is
Yeah,
putting
and Ugandans and like all the Western African.
he trying to show like you can fuck
Senegal.
with me.
Yeah.
All those places are full of Israelites.
I'm the cool white
He like,
guy.
I'm the cool white guy. Right. But meanwhile, he end up exposing that really what we saying is true. He's just shooting himself in the foot.
Yeah.
He's the same devil as these devils over here. And them Hamites definitely know the difference. I talked to a Nigerian, and he was talking about how he knew that he's Israelite. He ain't really care, but he understood it. And it's the difference between him and the other Hamites. They don't like each other.
They've been fighting each other all
They don't like
along.
each other.
The whole time we've been over, where the Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom was over here in America. The Jake was still in Africa, get going back and forth with them Hamites the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, they're throwing it outside.
Yeah. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. And Isaiah 66 says, know that plead is with fire. So this ain't a please let them go. No, this is Lord fucking you up.
That's it.
For they have scattered among the nations and part of my land, and they have cast lots on my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Well, just your triangle slave trade. We were bartered for goods, traded for whores.
right.
And the scriptures manifold. Our young man was even made to be whores, man.
Yeah.
When you watch,
I'm disagreeing with you, brother.
no, okay, yeah. When you watch, no, when you watch, what's the Forrest Whitaker movie? The Butler. What's the Butler?
Yeah.
It was one of
Yeah.
the dude, the slave. No, it was the other one. The dude. It was a Christmas party. Birth of a Nation. It was a Christmas party. The Edomite came out.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
other was wanted women. He wanted the black dude.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole point.
When it was out, he was,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
man, come on. He said, no.
Because Esau's a bunch
He
of
was
freaky
like, no,
deacons. They
give me
like
this
boy.
shit.
They like man pussy as they call it.
Ishmael too.
Bucci.
Common
So-
sense.
so-
They want Bucci.
That's what
Gucci
it
man.
is.
They won't
Yeah, they like Bucci. All right, so they did that, man, with our young men. Yeah, what have you to do? That's why they love going to what's the little Asian country with all the little ass dudes?
Thailand.
Yeah.
Thailand and Cambodia.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, they have cast lots of my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yeah, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine, which are you Africans, all right, and you Ishmael, you Arabs, man. There's a book, we got the book, we ain't got to bring it out, you can Google it, Slavery in the Arab World. And something that Murph brought to,
I got a copy of it as well.
and Murph brought it to my attention, he brought it to a lot of people's attention. When you watched the beginning of Roots, you saw the Hamite
The 40th minute. It's
Yeah.
actually the 40th minute in the original Roots movie. Right around the 40th, 41st minute.
Yeah, when
They
it's
show
prophecy.
you Joel the 3rd chapter.
Mm-hmm.
They show you Hamites,
And
Edomites,
Ishmael, right.
and Ishmael capturing Israelites.
That's right.
Right.
That's what the scripture's talking about. The triangular slave trade. And it was a triangle, which it really was circular, but the point is the three main points: Europe, Africa, and America. And they was taking slaves from all three of these spots.
Yep.
Let's not forget, because the first slaves was the Northern Kingdom. They was taking them to Europe, man. That's your Pocahontas. On a small scale that is shown in Pocahontas. But then the first black slaves came from Spain.
That's
What
right.
they call
Portugal.
Portugal now.
Yeah, that's right.
All right? And then they started using Ishmael ports that he already had set up in Africa and was getting them off the coast, man. The Ishmaelites showed Esau the way on how to work this shit, man. Because they've been selling humans. Human trafficking been big business forever. And them Ishmaelites were the same ones that bought Joseph, man.
That's right.
And sold Joseph.
That's
The
right.
Hamites.
That's right.
And they showed you that in Gladiator.
So like remember,
All right.
Yeah,
when they
Gladiator.
picked up when they picked up
Yeah,
what was the
Proximo.
character's name? With, Maximus.
Yeah.
And the Hamite dude, healed him.
Yeah.
Was working on his wounds. They showed you
Right.
that.
Yeah, he got bought by Proximo.
Those were right. Proximo was a Ishmaelite with a Greek name.
Yeah.
so like remember the first groups, a couple of those slaves, those were Gadites. Because Kim Kute, white said, she said, I'm American. She said, I'm not. She said, I'm not African. Then in the groups that got redone again,
Yeah, number two.
they
Man.
had some number two groups. They had Gadites and they had Cherokee slaves in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What it did, so they basically told on themselves.
Yep.
Yep.
I got books with ship records of Hamites on the ship records. I mean, not Hamites, but Gadites on the ships with Judah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It gave you the number of Gadites and the number of Judites. All right, on the same slave ship. There was a ship called the Royal Anne. They said Anne with the double N and the E at the end. The Royal Anne with sailed in and out of New York in 1715. And the ship, the cargo manifold, it manifest. It had
List of
the number of Gadites and the number of Negro slaves that were on board.
Yep. Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? So it's nothing that you
Hold that.
you Hamites and Israelites can do. All right, you got to go down. That's why he said 34. Even Obadiah, it goes to the destruction of Edom, but then it tells you all you fucking heathens, man.
Yep.
Because y'all all did this to us.
That's right.
All right, y'all all sat back and watched Esau fuck us over,
Yes, sir.
and then want to call us the face of neutrality.
Profited from it, or didn't speak up.
Now I remember, that's the spirit. I forgot what to say this earlier, but now's the time. World trade became big business off the back of slavery.
That's
right.
All right, because
Right.
whatever was the trending, whatever was the trending product, whatever was big business, that's what we produced and manufactured. All right, so if it was fur trapping, it had niggas running. If it was sugar, we
Yeah,
ran. If
sugar
it
cane,
was
right.
tobacco, and when it was cotton and textiles, that's when it became big, and America really profited.
Lost
and
their
that,
mind.
yeah,
Lost their mind.
and that was the beginning of America becoming the center of the world trade, man. It all started with slavery, man.
Scriptures is what
Now
makes
I
life-
want you to pay attention to this Negroes to be sold, because what people don't realize is that the image on there putting on the when it says to be sold Negroes.
Yeah, they're going to be so. I know.
Those are Native Americans. Those were not that can't look. I got those. Those were Native Americans. Those were not even Negroes. They were not from Africa. All right, and they printed it black and white like that, so it really didn't show the features.
You could tell by the way they dress.
But though exactly, but they were wearing the feathery garments. But there's a book. There's a couple books that actually have those original images in them, and they were not. Let me go to the evidence folder real quick to find some, and I'm gonna send them to you, brother, so you can put them up. 'Cause that's a very important point, and then I forget about that. But every time I see that image, it makes me think about it. It's probably gonna be toward the end.
Like again, it says, what one, off what you're just speaking, what one nation has
Okay,
had
right.
Go ahead, brother.
This is First Maccabees 2:10. It says, "What nation had not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?"
Yeah, that's it. So that was big business, and all you countries got paid off this shit, man. All right, off our backs. And I say ours, And we always say, when we say niggas, we mean all 12 tribes, man. That refers to the Gadites, Reubenites, etc. as Negroes, man. All right, just like the Tainos, they call them niggas, right? Just like the Brazilians, they the same thing.
Even on that same poster, it used to say Hebrew.
No, that's a different poster, but they got you'll see something say Igbo,
But they switched it up, you know, because they knew Jacob find out, seeing no getting put on slavery, they'll know that we the Israelites. So they didn't want that to be discovered, you know, they wanted to cover these
Even
things
though
up.
I see some of their old maps, they had Hebrews
Ebos,
on the map,
on the
around
map.
Africa.
Yep.
It's another verse too.
And that proves when Cristobal Colon came over here, he knew that it was Hebrews over here.
Oh yeah, he brought Hebrew interpreters with him. Why would you bring them?
Right.
Why would you bring Hebrew interpreters to come talk to some? For one, well, he knew he was coming over here. That's a myth that he was trying to go to
Right.
the Indies.
They show you that
He came
1492.
He came with 5 Hebrew interpreters.
Yeah.
Luis de Torres being the main one. All right, so why would you bring 5 Hebrew interpreters to find India? Come on.
And in 1492, what did it show you? He said, the writing of Esdras is the truth. He's like, yeah, that's how I know that there's, this land is over here because of the writings of Esdras.
Did you get that image?
Yeah, I put in the bishop's room.
It's one more verse.
And it's the same it's the same book we used to show the Northern Kingdom how we got here.
If you can't pull
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to use black only Israelites.
They
and
just
just
go
go goofy. For one, I mean, even you
Just
go
to
black
prove
only,
their
but we just showed that the niggas was called black.
Right.
That's because Ephraim became a Cape turn.
Yeah.
That don't change nothing, man.
Yeah. Right. Hey, stop listening to Michael Jackson. You don't like so-called Native Americans because Michael Jackson was Choctaw Indian.
And light-skinned niggas always existed, man. What's your excuse, man? The same niggas that's talking that shit is what the fuck? Saw that nigga's a goddamn Simeonite.
He know it. He's just bugged out.
Fucking idiot, man.
Nothing new under the sun, man.
Right. Just one of the New York think they deep niggas.
Yeah, Northern and Southern King, they still got that curse on them, man. You still got that. You ain't even true. You still saying black only. And then I just found out, like last year, some Mexicans talking about some Mexicans on Latin zones. Y'all niggas still under the curses, man. That's crazy.
Them cats out of Arizona and Colorado.
Right.
That on that Northern Kingdom only guys.
The one scripture that cut both sides.
They're gaining, they're gaining followers. They south of Colorado.
Y'all got to be set up because the scriptures cut that. One scripture alone cut, and there's plenty more. Jeremiah 50:33.
Yeah.
Why is it that strange fruit applies to Negroes, so-called Negroes, but also it applies to the Latin tribe, man?
Yeah, right.
There's a book called it.
Yeah.
Lynches in the Mexican world, something like that. Mexican lynches. Mexican lynches.
That was that song.
Yeah, strange fruits. But what's wrong about that is it's a fucked up part of our history, but it's very important. Because the tree hangings is in the scriptures. It says, curse you he that hang on the tree. That shows that we're the people of the curse. It says how Shai was hung on the tree. It says what? He became a curse to deliver us from the curse. This is how you know we the children of Israel. We are Yahweh Shai's children, man. Being son of Adam.
It's a tree in Texas where they used to hang so-called black people, so-called Mexicans on the same tree.
Man. Yeah. I saw that. It was some ranch I was looking at. He said this tree right here, they hung many of my ancestors on here, and they also were hanging the Negroes. I was watching the video.
Where's the lynchings at for the Jewish dudes? Where's the Palestinian lynching trees? Where's the fucking the Hamite lynching tree? That should happen to us, man.
Where's the Hamite projects, man? All right. Hey, it's funny, man. These niggas is just bugged out. Because you actually got black conscious Puerto Ricans, man. You got Puerto Rican niggas in the black conscious.
Those some black conscious right there, but you see those images to the right. Those are all Gadites and Reubenites.
Right.
All right. That's what those images came from, and those are the same images that they use. All right. Those were Native American chiefs, and those are the images that they use on the Negro side to actually sell so-called black slaves. So when we tell you, we know what the fuck we talking about. And many of the Gadites and Reubenites got reclassified as Negroes.
Yep.
So, and even in 1683 in Virginia, they had already declared the natives and the Negroes one race. They had declared the same in the same place where they made up this whole term of white people.
Right.
Right, cause see, you got on TikTok, you got light skinned guys. Oh, they can't imagine there was dark skinned, so-called black.
When you still got guys walking around that's still dark.
That's
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely.
That's right.
Guy,
Number one right there.
I was gonna say,
Shut up the rock.
the guy know at the job, at the job and whatnot. Dog is south
Yeah, you
side.
still got some walking
Dog
there.
is
You got
south side.
Escorites that's still dark too. So
Right.
go with all that bullshit.
All right, y'all were
That's
posting
right,
some
man.
stuff in the bishops room. You just posted a couple of things too.
I'm about to go check it out. And if you, I remember last week when I was at work, there was a whole line of mostly Venezuelans at the trying to get green cards. But then you saw when I was with one of my co-workers, we was going up and down. One of the main guys talking was darker. If you were matter of fact, all three of y'all look just like y'all. And I'm telling you, and he's like, status of need is relevant. And I mean, you know, and
I see so-called Hispanic people every day, all day that's darker than me.
Yes.
All the time.
Speaking full-blooded Spanish.
And a lot of them walk up to me speaking Spanish.
And they it
happens to me almost every day.
Yeah, Esau got you niggas so divided. They got you niggas calling yourself Afro-Latino. You fucking goofy. I'm proud of my Afro-Latino heritage.
You triple confused.
You a motherfucking hairstyle Mexican nigga? No. It's dark Mexicans, man. The whole world is swarthy, man. The whole world is swarthy, man. Alright, now Israelites range dark to light. It's light-skinned Judites. It's light-skinned Mexicans. It's dark-skinned Mexicans. I know black.
I know black poppies.
I know black.
No.
Matter of fact, when Esau came to some of the tribe with some mixtures, dark skin, light skin, naturally, man.
As the ground, Judas black as the ground.
Right.
You got black dirt, brown dirt, light brown.
That's right.
You know, red clay.
That's right.
A good example of it is my son. His father's Honduras. His father's from Honduras.
Yeah, stand up so you get on camera so you can see. He
Northern King. He Northern King.
Zebulon.
You and Zebulon in the house.
Look at that Maya right there.
That light too bright, it don't really capture his essence of blackness.
So what y'all gonna say about him?
Are you a Mayan son?
Okay, you got your 15 minutes.
He was feeling something else the other day. He said, "What do I put?" He said, "Black." He said, "I put Hispanic."
Hell yeah.
Fuck him up.
Put white Hispanic at that. White Hispanic.
That'll throw.
That's what I put white shit in. I put Jewish, I put all that shit in. I put Jewish all the time.
My sugar my wife called me 2 weeks ago. She said, "Rob, you're in the hospital. Why are you?" I said, "Just tell him Jewish."
Put white motherfuckers. Put anything but black.
Now the brother Kadam too. Kadam, his father's Guatemalan, man. They showed me a picture of his father, and he looked straight like you would consider. He looked almost Mexican, man. You know, Guatemalans hate that they get called Mexicans, but you know,
Same
he
thing
looks
for the
same.
Ricans. Y'all, we all the same.
Right.
Yeah, it's tweakers.
Curses
You
on.
look at Kadam, and they'll say that he looks like that he's a so-called black man.
Well, y'all about Rock Camp?
Yeah.
Oh, that brother. Yeah, y'all been talking about.
Matter of fact, there's some records of some J slaves coming in. Some synagogue, they very dark skinned, they had straight hair. You had some that were very light, had straight hair, sharp noses, and lips, man. Like, you know, our heritage is a speckled bird, like I said, Jeremiah 12:9.
That's right.
So are you Latino on the earth, like black on the earth like that? Y'all need to sit down, man.
Man, Lord gonna kill y'all anyway, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Quran, the Wanda, they Northern Kingdom.
Elder Malcolm.
Ruben. Hey, come on, man. Y'all just tweaking, man. You see, y'all got this this term mixed. That's what y'all got your minds all messed up when you come from the seed of men. But y'all don't understand that, man. Y'all too busy focusing on what the mother,
the matriarch.
And King David, grandmother was a
Moabite.
Since that conversation with an Iscarite that was running around calling himself Puerto Rican because her mother was Puerto Rican. I said, "No, you're Issachar."
Look, I got to punch you. This is some these pictures right here. I'm gonna have to put it on. These a lot of these pictures here, you'll see when I'll pull it up in 1 second.
And it's crazy. The spirit do what the spirit do. 'Cause you see the direction it's went.
Right.
And it all ties into the fall of his economy.
Yeah.
I got
Us coming out, right? The truth about who we are.
Right.
That matter of fact, somebody get that while he's clearing it up.
And
Get what you got, and somebody get Isaiah 25 and 7.
And that Esau, the target is Jacob, all 12 tribes. Regardless whether you dark skinned
Yeah,
or whether you light skinned.
You can see that he's wearing something similar to what those images on those Negro things.
But look at the rest of these natives.
Right,
Over here.
they're all brown.
they got lights.
You got afros over here in the back right here.
Different shades of brown.
That's right.
You see the afros back here?
Light
It's afro.
skin.
Look at Yasharal. He got a nice throw, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Big throats.
Yeah, yeah.
Right here, Zebulon. Panamanian Indian. Go right there, it's a Panamanian Indian.
Yeah, that's Zabualo right there.
Oh, Zebulon. Curly fro.
Mm-hmm.
Jufro.
Yeah.
Hey, it is a Jufro. True Jew. Which is it?
You stupid.
But yeah, but that was good. Now let's swing back. You got something else?
Yeah, this is the Isaiah 10. I read those.
Let's swing back to the video.
That's right.
Get a little bit more of that video.
I can wait for the video.
Do you want the 25 and 7?
Baba shot.
Okay, this is Isaiah 25 and 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people.
Right. So this whole false black and white narrative, Arab, brown man, white man, red man, and all this other. You are red, but all these different yellow, black, and brown, and all that kind of. That's all just social constructs that they made up to control the narrative.
Right.
And it creates separation, and if they don't call you that, then they call you by a landmass, so they just full of shit and full of lies, and now the history and the truth is coming out. All things are being revealed, man. He's being made bare, simple as that. And now his kingdom is falling, and he's silently crying. Let's get back to that cop, to that sheriff.
That's the one I was looking for. This is off the Incas.
Yeah,
the
the Mayans kind. This was off of the
they dark as
pyramids.
hell.
And they got the lips, the
black
they
face.
The black face.
blackface lips, yeah.
I knew I was trying to remember what folder I had.
They're
But I
the
have
same people, man.
Yeah, they got the same. If you go, this is over there in the Incas. You got this also in the Mayans. You got in the Aztecs. You see this folder was one. And matter of fact, here's one of the so-called chieftain right there.
I got the whole
See, like
photo.
a nigga,
I got everybody that's in that picture. There's about 100 people there, and they all look like him. And that's from 1925.
Come on, bro.
That was a Gadite powwow from 1925. That's where the image comes from.
That's right. So what you see in your American history are lies. There's another picture of painting back then. You see, these are Native Americans, all dark skinned.
Well, you know what? We've read that Ben Franklin's letter plenty of times.
Yeah.
And they said that, that these people were swarthy and tawny.
Yeah.
All right? So as simple as that, man. Get back to the video, Papa.
Yes, right.
Point's been proven, man.
You also.
He is an asshole.
Absolutely.
Look, groceries are up anywhere from 30% to 47% in the last 3 years. Now, when you look at just groceries and the cost of food, because people are stealing food now. And, as chief of police, I can tell you that, I'm starting to understand. I don't know how people afford an apartment anymore with the way that the cost of those are rising. If you ask me, there are a lot of people on the top that are against the majority. Something's going to happen. Something's going to blow because it's not just food. If you want to know why you're struggling, I can tell you why. Because everything is going up at that percentage, right? So take your paycheck. Like I make, probably about $57,000 a year. So 3 years ago, that $57,000 has got to stretch out 40% more on multiple levels. Okay, And every time you turn around, these big corporations are wanting to raise prices more and more and more and more. And this is a battle that's going to end in a very bad way.
It's going to
The
end in
homeless
riots.
numbers are rising. Millennials have given up the hope of ever buying a home. And I was stupid enough to try to own a restaurant. Don't do that. I figured out real quick why my family wanted to sell it so bad. I found their invoices. I was paying $180 for a case of cheese that they were spending $74 for in February of 2020.
Pause
And
and speak
that
on that,
doesn't
bro.
tell you.
Wow.
Pause and speak on that. Understanding how when you were making the pizzas and stuff. Go ahead.
Guys, when you have a business and you sit there and you gotta buy your dough.
You can
gotta
speak
buy-
on that too, bro.
You have to buy your dough. You have to buy your boxes. You gotta buy your cheese. They go wholesale, of course. And when you go buy wholesale, of course, you get a big old box of cheese. Say you see, it's like he said, 90, 80 bucks or whatever, $75. That right there, you can turn around and make $200-300 off that one box of cheese. All right. If they dump their price up to 180, you can't just jump up your prices of the pizza because nobody gonna buy the pizzas. If people buy a pizza right now for about $22, $23 for a large pizza, $25, $30 for an extra large pizza, something like that. If your cost for that cheese goes up 100%, because from 80 to 175, that's over 100%.
Right.
That means now your profit just went down 100%. You're not making the same amount of profit.
And if
So
you're
you
a
need to have
business
to-
owner,
Right, to a business, now you're not making a lot of money, so your profit. No one goes into business to break even. You go into business to make a profit.
right?
So now the big corporations are squeezing out the individual business owner. And so, like they said, like, look, man, we're barely in the red, and he has his house on the line. He has people when they get these businesses, they say, okay, what's your collateral?
Yep.
Your collateral is your house. If you've been paid off your house, you just put up your $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 house as a collateral. So if that business falls, your house falls. And now you're indigent when you're sitting there having a thriving business as of 2 years ago. Esau's got all. I think he said in this video is another video we
He
brought.
says that the middle class is
Yes, that's
gone,
disappearing.
basically.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's all.
There's almost no middle class left.
And when I was a freshman in high school, it was an Ephraimite. He was a Spanish teacher, and usually he would teach Spanish, but he don't always teach Spanish. And he said what they trying to do. He told me this when I was 15. He said what they trying to do is get rid of the middle class. It's gonna be a super rich and a poor.
He said that way back then.
Yes,
Right.
yes. God.
Yeah.
Now you're just like, damn, it's all making sense.
It did, yeah, it did. It made very sense, man.
I was thinking about the movie Deep Cover. With Jeff Goldblum, he was doing a drug deal at the end, and
When
he
you're a
basically,
lawyer,
yeah.
Yeah.
He said there's no more rich people, there's no more poor people. He says there's no middle class, it's just rich people and poor people. Me and you are both rich, so we on the same side.
Yep. He started saying, and then he was saying, mostly robots gonna start taking over these businesses. He said, y'all in the future, if y'all don't start doing something, basically trying to, get us hope. But there wasn't no hope. He knew that.
That's
And
why
that
the
was a
movement.
long time ago.
That's why the movement is over now. The last couple of weeks.
and that's basically what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now they're trying to say there's a big movement on Instagram and TikToks and so forth. September 1st, trying to tell people to strike and everybody go on strike. And if we the people got the power, and if we tell we can
That
get,
shit ain't gonna happen.
man.
Ain't nothing gonna happen. America is
No, it's not gonna happen. All right, because he even said that he's trying to get people to do it, but people scared to do it because they're gonna be like, well, I want to lose my job by not coming in and striking.
But if they do it, but the Lord still get everybody in the trick bag, because if they do it, they'll crash the economy. And they won't be able to live.
So no matter what happens, it's gonna happen.
The Lord got everybody in the trick bag. So if you do that, you still gonna crash the economy.
And guess
If
what?
you don't do it, it's still
Whether they do it or not,
Nah,
it's still
it had to happen.
It's still
It's gonna have to
gonna
happen.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. and there's gonna be marauding groups kicking in doors.
But
Yeah,
he
yeah.
don't
That's
even
what's
say
gonna
that.
happen.
They don't even say that. Show you the vibration of the common man. Just like this guy right here, just like average Jake, average Esau, average the poor. The poor are going to be the hands of the wicked shall be in Job.
Heavy handed is wicked to be on.
I can't call.
And to say shit, I'm about to be 31. That was 28 years he said that. So I was 15. I'm about to be 31 next week. That's a
15
long,
years.
yeah.
16
No,
years.
16.
16 years.
So yeah, 16 years.
And he wasn't even the truth, and he could see that.
I mean, they've been doing this for a long time. The shit been collapsing. Really, America's been going downhill. You watch The Wash. Y'all all remember the movie The Wash?
Yeah.
Wasn't the conflict in The Wash automation?
Yep.
The economy's been taking every. You used to be able to work at a car wash and pay your rent.
Well, they show you
I
that.
used to work at a car wash. You used to make like $150 a day.
Well, they did show that if you look at it in the 1956, you see the Jackson cartoons. Who was doing all the work? The robots.
Esau been talking about the 1% for a long time.
Yep.
Back in the 90s, you if you watch movies or you watch certain news and shit, especially listening to AM radio, you will hear them talk about, oh, it's not they like to use that. It's not black versus white. It's the rich versus the poor. It's the 99% versus the 1%. It's now just getting worse.
Yeah.
It's getting worse
Well,
now.
because Esau's feeling what this police officer, what this sheriff is you can see and
Yeah,
hear
he's
the
exasperated.
desperation
Yeah,
in his
he's
voice.
exasperated. Yeah.
All right. And what he's really doing is he's getting a taste of what it's like to be a so-called black person.
But Esau still had,
You know, because Judah, mainly Judah, they're not, other tribes been catching hell too. But Judah has been living this way ever since they destroyed all of Judah's towns and accomplishments after slavery.
Right.
Because you got to remember, Judah built up towns and townships and places and neighborhoods in America that were superseding the whites around them.
Yep.
And,
That's
and,
it.
and so they, and this is after slavery, and that angered a lot of white people. They weren't harming the white people, so-called. They weren't doing. Judah didn't try to get vengeance or nothing. They just wanted to.
Just let me go on about my
Hey, niggas
business
even
now.
help them Edomites. If they should get a loan in y'all banks, the niggas will give them the loan.
And Esau hated, the fact that Judah was doing better than him in America so bad till he went through and destroyed all his towns, burnt down his neighborhoods, destroyed his banks, his schools.
Y'all good?
Yeah, he's all right. He's not putting the on.
But and so
Behind the scenes.
and now this guy, I'm laughing at this calamity. I was just going to tell him, hey, pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah, that's what they tell us all the time, right? You got to afford y'all.
Because
need some help, Pop?
really what they complain about is bullshit. Y'all can come move right in the hood next to us, nigga. They mad.
Some of them are.
They got to.
They got
That's
to.
really what they mad
They
about.
moving all the way through Terrytown.
That's
all
why
along the
they mad
lakefront.
because they getting 300,000 saying it's not enough. They still want to live out next door to motherfucking Michael Jordan shit. No, bring your red ass next door to me.
Bring that ass here, boy.
Hey, go get the crib that's 200,000. You can afford that and live next to us, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I got off work last week.
You get to hear these gunshots too, bitch.
Come on, brother.
I got off work last week. Over there by 68th and Lafayette, that red line train.
Right.
Right.
I said, what is Edomite girl going to? I'm like, where's she going?
I know.
And it's right there around the corner. There was an Edomite boyfriend. Like, they moving in the hood.
Yeah. They moving all into the hood.
Yeah.
All right. You're always gonna have what you call the pioneers that come in first.
Yeah.
But they're I'm telling you, if you all along the lakefront, all along Lakeside, they all through Lakeside now.
Nah, yeah.
That was a few of them houses over there where Kanye's mother's house was. There was always a few that still were there.
Right.
All right. But all those high-rise buildings along the lakefront in the 70s, from 71st all the way up until about 76, 78.
South Shore neighborhood.
All those little
Yeah, they
low-rise
up in there.
buildings.
They up in there.
Edomites are all in there now because now they're moving all in there because I know because I see them. They're on Express Bus.
Yeah, and the Gooks are too. Another reason
A
why
lot of them too. They moving into my
the
neighborhood.
housing costs and the gas. They don't want to take that commute. So
Right.
they got you niggas moving to the suburbs because for some reason you feel like that's status.
You got Ellen coming into my neighborhood
Yeah,
too.
that's
Yeah.
status. To live in the suburbs, that's status.
Crazy.
But right, now you niggas are getting oppressed even more instead of just getting a crib in your own neighborhood and just keeping the shit together like you should. Nevertheless, Esau was moving to the city, so they got to take that driver pay for all that gas.
Right.
He mentions in his video about the damn, you spending probably a third of your fucking money on getting to work, man.
Yeah, and you Edomites, man.
Man, you can't take the
Because
red line no
he
more.
said he had an out. Yeah, you take the red line, you liable to get shot at Pope.
Oh man, hey, it's going down.
Or you gonna get high from contact.
Absolutely. That will happen. That will happen.
You gonna get robbed. You gonna get robbed with a red line. And it's funny, man, because
I'm gonna tell you, brother. Years ago, when I was young, people got beat up on the red line in the buses. Often. I'm just saying. I'm talking about it was
y'all not getting what he's saying.
But see now, you know, I'm older now. So I have to be wise in my movement and everything. So I try to avoid the red line unless I absolutely have to. And then when I do ride it, I find myself moving from car to car just so I don't have to, you know, because somebody come down, sit down next to me.
Right.
And I'm like, nigga, we ain't in your house.
Right.
You know what's crazy though?
You know, and it's like, man, we're in an enclosed car.
Yeah.
There's old people, women with babies, and you.
Right. Hey, you know, there's something.
I'm like, I hate niggas, man.
Some of them bought them cars where they say you're supposed to smoke it. Some type of.
Well, yeah, it's illegal.
It's illegal. You're supposed to be smoking.
Well, it's illegal anyway, but it just goes to show you that ever since the whole C19, you know, nigga, and crackers do it too.
Yeah, nobody cares. But you know what?
Crackers do it too. They want. As a matter of fact, the damn Edomites are smoking that same skunk funky shit that Jake be smoking. I'm smelling that shit. I'm like, damn, ain't no niggas around. It's crackers. You know, because when you smell that shit, you gonna see some niggas and speakers.
Right.
But they walking up and down. They walking up and down Damon in Bucktown, in the where the $1 million homes at, doing that shit too. I'm like, God, everybody, even the crackers is niggas now.
Everybody smoke, but you notice like 5 years ago, it was limits at the red line. Say you coming from north. By the time you get to Sox 35th, all the heaters was off the train.
They were.
Now you got to ride even up to 63rd. Mostly 65th.
Sometimes 69th.
Yeah, but now you got to even get on 63rd, 69th.
They've been gentrified Inglewood for a minute.
It's supposedly, but they ain't gentrified. They just can't afford. They can't gentrify like they used to.
Yeah,
I was about to say
They
that.
can't even afford to gentrify. Now they gotta just mingle in with the niggas.
Yeah.
I remember.
Which is the Lord setting them up.
I
was just about to say
they put a Whole Foods in the Starbucks. They go. I said they try to gentrify this shit.
Yep.
But one of them crashed. Was it the Whole Foods?
The Whole Foods.
The Whole Foods crashed. They can't afford to gentrify over there no more.
Well, actually they had a contract. It was set up that way. The dude, they was protesting about it. They had a contract that they was gonna be a Whole Foods for so long, and then it was gonna turn into a Save-A-Lot after the contract ended. And that's what happened. And niggas went into it and was like, look, this is bullshit. It was a setup to bring people and basically make people think they was doing something.
It don't matter.
Well, they did want to gentrify Inglewood. They wanted it. Any neighborhood where a train runs through and would take you straight downtown, they wanted it.
Right off Greenwood.
The Great Line right there.
That's
Exactly. So that's why they wanted it. Every neighborhood where a train runs right through it, they want that. They want to live alone. They want to be walking distance to the train.
That's it.
Once the neighborhood get a Whole Foods and a Starbucks, they trying to bring crackers in. Hey, but this Lamentations 1 and 20. Behold, O Lord, Yahweh, for I am in distress. My bowels are troubled, my heart is turned within me. If I have grievously rebelled, abroad the sore bereaved, at home there is as death. So we just fucked up, right? They have heard that I sighed, there is none to comfort me. All my enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it. Thou will bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me. That all their wickedness come before thee, and do unto them as thou hast done unto me.
Yeah.
All my transgressions, for my sides are many, and my heart is faint. So you got Edomites that can't afford these motherfucking cribs. They making 6 figures. Move to the hood. You got to
lost so
right
many
there with us.
clients.
Yeah.
Paying me was nothing once upon a time. Now it's a struggle. The first thing that gets cut, you know, from the upper middle class, the first class citizen, the first thing that get cut is their training, their masseuse. Those are the first things that they, you know, and I did that. And I was doing very well with that for many a year. And
Yeah.
they just can't afford me anymore.
Yeah, I got another precept too. This Isaiah 19. What's it like?
No, it's like amazing.
Oh, you sure?
Yes,
Well, I was about to
It's
say
Isaiah
that
19.
their discretionary spending starts going down. They start spending money on the
Memberships,
memberships,
clubs.
luxury items. Next thing you just try to spend on their money only on essentials. When you got the elite only or the so-called upper class only spend on essentials, it lets you know they
It's hurt.
Yeah,
It's bad now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what you used to say years ago, Malcolm, about how all them clients that you had up there on the Gold Coast, and them motherfuckers are gone.
They gone.
That's
The,
everything with it.
the ultra wealthy has been gone.
Yeah, and it's a perfect storm. It's
This the Salaki, brother. The wealthy people here in America are the low level. I mean, and not in America, but the wealthy people in Chicago. Those are the low level. They're the ones that stuck their front.
Right.
The people living in corn cob buildings and marina towers and stuff, and living. Those are the people. They barely make it.
Yeah.
Right. They not. Yeah. They got enough money to be there, but they like. Yeah. They ain't stunting like them guys I used to fuck with back
and
in the
there's
day.
a lot of Edomites in these condos that's getting Section 8.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Edomites in these condos downtown. They living good, but they on Section 8. So they can still go shop on, the Magnificent Mile and shit. But they hit the system hard. And Esau like to complain to his niggas. No, man.
Yeah, it's y'all.
This shit was set up for y'all. Since when the government actually want to help niggas, man? Come on, stop playing. Yeah, but this is a perfect storm. You got unemployment increasing due to automation. I just watched a video. This motherfucking robot built the house. I think it said laid 1,000 bricks an hour, and it can build a full-size
I
house
saw that
in
video
2 days.
in 2 days, and I saw that shit.
Working all night.
I was like, damn, that's a lot of bricklayers and carpenters.
Out of work. The whole masonry gone.
But now you're saying that they keep putting this commercial up about how they got AI lawyers now. Now they are basically moving them out of business now too, and they're gonna be no lawyers.
Make sure I defend you.
Yeah, ChatGPT get it done.
Which means we already showed the new AI is all programmed. Whoever programmed it programmed the way they want to, so it's not even really real AI.
Right. Exactly.
It's controlled AI.
That's it.
Right? Real AI went rogue on their ass and they got rid of that shit.
Right.
And this Isaiah 19 and 14. Yahweh has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. They have caused Egypt to err on every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit. Esau can't make proper decisions for his country. Everything he's doing is bringing him towards the demise. Starting with automation, starting with debt. Really, if Esau really just kept even half the laws of the Lord, just dealing with, even if he just kept the parts just with his own fellow Edomites, the economy would actually be straight, you fucking goofy.
Yep.
All right? The Lord had a perfect welfare system.
Perfect.
We canceled debt every 7 years. You wouldn't have to worry about homes. Esau made home ownership is predatory.
Yes.
And Esau further made it predatory about he made sure to keep you Edomites in rotation to sell your home and buy homes too. All right? In the ancient world, if I bought your house and your land after 50 years, if you alive or dead, that shit go back to you or your family. And I get my own land and house back too.
Yep.
See, Esau even put you motherfucking heathens in slavery. In the ancient world, say you went, when bitches going to work for somebody in the ancient world, that was you being a slave. And it was temporary. You worked for 7 years, you got enough finances and wealth to now get your own shit done. Now you, whatever you went to, you can do it and help the next man. It was a system of entrepreneurship.
That's right.
All right, point blank period. You can, you will get your own shit. Yeah.
Like you said, the welfare system. That when you pour down your crops, you left the corners. Yeah.
Even if you modernize it, whatever you went to, say, look, it wouldn't be no big ass. Esau the devil. Apple. If I'm a program, I can develop my own shit. I'll get a team of developers, and we can work together. Shit will be split fair.
Right.
But Esau made it so they get rich off your ass. They not paying you a fair amount. And then you got these motherfuckers, because of that, they leaving their jobs. All right, the Esau so greedy, they cut corners and they firing motherfuckers. They got machines doing it. So now you can't even fucking work. Everything this man has done is shooting himself in the foot.
Yeah, he destroys his own setup.
The scripture says, "He that is evil to himself."
So
he truly is.
He put you in slavery. Esau put Esau in slavery. Right. He complained about, I don't know where they gonna live and this and that. Bitch, you a slave just like us now, man.
That is.
Slocky. neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So this was prophesied, man. This just continued bad decision making Esau's been doing is now catching up to him, man. His pride, his covetousness is shooting him in the ass.
Yep.
And it said it's a rock. This is a recompense of his evil.
Yep.
All right, that was the curse put on the serpent that he would go up to his belly. So you got a bunch of greedy motherfuckers ruling the damn earth, only caring about increasing their riches. They can never spend in 100 lifetimes.
Yeah.
They just want to oppress your ass. And now you a fucking slave. Now you can't even get a piece of the pie that was promised to y'all way back in Genesis 27.
Yeah.
It's enough resource for all the Edomites to rule the world together.
You
And
know,
fuck us all up together. Esau so free.
I love it. Love it. I love it.
Right. He destroyed himself. And there's so many mathematicians that have done different breakdowns and placing people, the whole population of the earth in one place.
Right.
Texas was one of them. That was one that I'm trying to remember the other one, and they kept doing it in sections. They said, well, we get the whole population in here, everybody can have a house. And they said, okay. Then they spread out a little bit further, and everybody can have a house in so many acres of land. Where they can grow their own food and not be on top of each other. And literally, it said, so this whole thing about it being too many people, it's too many people that want to control more than what they need.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it comes down to. When you got whole islands and shit, you got a state, and you got all these thousands of acres of land that's owned by 10 people.
Right.
But yet the population of that state is 13,
It's
14,
so
15 million, but 10 people own damn near all the land in the state.
It's
You
so
know what I'm
fucking
saying?
It's so much land here. It's enough land for some motherfuckers to own some islands and still be plenty.
Right.
Esau just the damn devil. It's slave. The other scriptures that Revelation 6 talk about the balances, which zygotes, which means slavery. Then it says buying their water and food by weight. The fact that you go to a grocery store and you paying for an 8-ounce steak, all right, that's slavery. You don't own nothing. So that nigga talking about you will own nothing and you will love it. That's been happening.
Right. Yep.
That's already happening. You go slave to get some paper, all right. It's basically like when you go to what's the game? Dave and Buster's.
Well, you got to register everything.
Yeah.
So the fact that you registered when you go and earn this paper money, which is connected, which is that's backed by nothing. When you go buy anything, the moment you register, you just really gave up the ownership of it.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. It's like GameStop credits or Dave and Buster money.
Right.
All right, when you go there, you give them something real. Which in this case, you work, you slave, you give them your time, your energy. That's something real. Something you could have put into yourself, right? And they give you this currency that you can only use on their shit. They own everything. You gotta go to them for the one of all things. You heathens are now feeling like us, man. You gotta go to eat the Lisa Edom for the one of all things. You are a fucking slave.
Yeah.
Welcome to our world.
That's why it's so funny that
and
they.
we leaving. We going up, but y'all coming down.
That's right.
You have a scripture to back that up too. You can say what you got to say. One second.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. See, there's only one way to rule for forever, and that's the way of righteousness. You see, all these other nations, when they get put in power, they ultimately go down because they rule with unrighteousness. Now, the thing is, with Esau, Edom, like the Elder Bro Benjamin was saying, they're ruling with just complete wickedness. And so, just like when they got into power, it says how evils multiply in the world. Forget addition. You know what I'm saying? Multiplication.
Right.
When Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, got into power, because they are the basis of men and the righteousness of the Most High God. They're about the complete opposite of that. And so these are telltale signs of these things that's going on right now, everything that's going on right now, what this guy, this police officer is talking about. All these things are the telltale sign of a transition from power. from one people to another people.
What's those canary to cave? Whatever the hell it is.
Cave to Captain Canary.
Sort of.
Canary in the coal mine.
Canary in the coal mine.
Yeah.
One of them, whatever.
I did this mathematical equation years ago in the truth, and I just Googled it again. What is the total land acreage of the planet? Not the water, just actually solid land. It is 36 billion acres. If you can take it, it's real simple. How many people on the planet? 7 to 8 billion. So let's say 8. Divide 8 into 36. Everybody can get that much acreage to themselves.
Right.
All right. And I'm using somebody else's phone, so I have to even figure out how to get on.
How much acres you said?
36 billion acres, and you divide that by 8 billion people. I mean 8 billion. So 36 billion divided by 8 billion.
4.5.
So everybody should have 4.5 acres of land, and 4.5 acres. If you go do the math on the acres, that's a lot of land.
That's
1
a lot of
acre is a
land,
lot of land.
Right.
Everybody can have 4.5 acres of land.
Basically, you could probably get one family, like if you split this block up into 3 sections, just or you could have one family and you have all that plot and all that land around it with your own food, your dogs, your own, your own livestock and your own garden, and you could be actually self-sufficient.
Build your own
You can
damn
actually
house.
do that.
Yeah.
Because that's about 4 acres.
But when you're the wicked, you're carnal, you're insatiable. You see, and you want it all. See, the scriptures talk about how the
Big Jeff sent you something.
the scriptures talk
Send it
about.
to him. We can play it. Salakia.
No. I was just gonna say the scriptures talk about in the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world,
That's right.
and a wise king is the upholding of the people that's being ruled over. Right, a wise king. But when you're a dumbass, all right, and you're wicked, then this is what happens in the world: a hellhole.
Dumbass and wicked.
That's it. That's it. And instead of a paradise, it's a hell.
Yeah, that's definitely Esau. He's the biggest dummy ever.
No, what were you saying? There was
I said, y'all get right. He's the biggest dumbass on the planet, man. That's why the Lord finna boot his ass, man.
I got a scripture to back up what you were saying, though. This is Jeremiah 22:13. Woe unto him that buildeth house to house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that useth his neighbor's service without wages, and giveth him not for his work. That's Esau.
Yep.
Want to put you on top of each other, and this, that, and the other, and have all this other fucking land, and this, that, and the other, and say it ain't enough fucking land.
You know, that's why scriptures say, woe unto him that build house to house.
Yeah, that's what I just read.
Oh, you just read? Yeah. Woe means destruction, man. Just off that alone, the Lord finna destroy your ass for setting it for this whole setup, man.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna get this other verse back in this Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 9. It says, "Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such a one setteth his own soul to save, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels." You see, and so they're extra uber proud, all right, and putting their mindset above the mindset of the Most High God, all right, and they want to play.
They know
God,
better.
But
They think they know better.
exactly, all right, and they don't get no more prouder than that, right?
Right. You think you know better than the actual power.
Creator.
The architect of all.
Right. It is the creator saying, well, if you rule this way, all right, then you're gonna get a paradise. Then you're gonna get, everything is serene and beautiful and fair and equitable. Right?
Why? Because I designed it this way.
Exactly.
That's why it says, out of prison he cometh to reign,
Right.
and therefore they that are born in his kingdom become poor. Right? You're born with debt. How the hell are you born? How the hell all you some money nigga I just got here?
Hey.
You know, like the brother Benji was going into, he was basically saying, like, hey, here it is, you already in slavery. And it's funny, and I was gonna say this, it's funny because, They laugh at us when we tell them that they're going into slavery, but nigga, you already in slavery, man.
Some of them not laughing.
Right. He ain't no way.
They laughing like they used to.
Yeah, exactly, because they also see this downfall and that there is no healing. She calls me this precept. This is 2 Samuel 23:3. It says, the God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me. He that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of the Most High God.
That's right. That's why King Solomon said to the Lord, when he asked him, what do you want? He said, well, shit. I like all these people, these great. I need wisdom. I need to understand how to judge these people. Because I don't want to fuck up.
I need to know how to not fuck up.
And but the fool in his heart said, there is no God. You see? And he played God himself.
That's right.
All right. And so the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord, man.
Yeah, it's right.
To know that if you don't roll,
be very afraid.
And if you don't roll with the righteousness of the Most High God,
you go fuck it
there's
up.
going to be consequences. It is death and destruction. That's it. Which is ultimately death and destruction.
What's crazy is like lately, if you go on the internet and search the internet, the scriptures, the Lord has been standing on the scriptures. Like these, everybody been coming out, proving the Lord, His work, affirming it, how everything is enclosed, ain't no going into outer space. That Esau's a fucking liar, man. Esau's a fucking liar.
Yeah,
he's a fucking liar.
It's the reason why those chemtrails jackets up so bad.
Right. Yeah.
So it's coming out across the planet, and Esau, these men that's been standing on the corner. God damn, they been telling the truth the whole time.
Yeah, some people, maybe I would say probably at this point, millions. Because you know what, I got people, you know, we all do, but that's people from Europe that watch my videos all the time, and they'll chime in and say, well, the same thing here in London, same thing here in Ireland, shit like that. You know, so people are watching, man.
And you know, a lot of things, you know, Benji be like, man, Esau don't know shit, you know, and I'll be like, you know, and then I start to look like a lot of information that Esau give you is just a bunch of bullshit. He don't know nothing.
Well, he tries
to. He
don't know how big the earth is.
No.
He don't know the shape of the mother. He don't know shit.
He'll lie and tell you, not give you a number.
He'll give you a number. He'll give you a guesstimation.
Yeah.
A theory.
You know, Esau will give you an inkling of truth. And then he'll give you one or two truths, all right? That may not even be solid, but then he'll give you a whole bunch of lies. But every two truths he gives you 10 lies, man. That's why people are so lost and confused. And we'll be able to pull it up.
I got it.
Y'all posted it now.
Yeah, anybody who
Yeah. Let's go ahead and pull it up real quick, and we're gonna let Alex Jones talk about what's coming and what Alex Jones is talking about. It was confirmed through Bill Gates and who I saw both the other videos when Bill Gates said it, and I saw the video when the I forget the really ugly old Edomite lady.
Listen to what's about to happen.
From the WWF and the hood. Yeah.
Breaking news. It's about to happen. Listen. I had a cup of coffee with them, and they said, you gotta warn people. Tuesday, we got called in, the managers, and told that by the middle of September, that the new policy's being written, that this is done. They were told this is happening. It's not hypothetical. You all have to wear masks again, and so will airport employees. Then, by the middle of October, they are going to say that everyone flying has to wear a mask. And in the meetings, people began to ask them, well, I mean, why is this happening? They said, well, because of the new variant in Canada, and because of the WHO, they may, declare this, but regardless, we've been told this is going to happen. coming back, people. The elites are fighting back. And then we were told we expect by December a return to the full COVID protocol of 2020-2021. I was given many more details I wrote down notes on. Then I left. Called the first federal connection that I was thinking of. Didn't answer. Called the second. Answered. Told them what I've been told. They said, what day was that? I said, Tuesday. They said, yep, we were told yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday, so it's Wednesday. Expect COVID protocols to begin rolling out middle of September. And I said, what else were you told? Basically, that they believe this new variant's super bad and that they're doing the testing and that they should just get ready for a whole new rollout of what happened before. And this was Border Patrol, connected people I was talking to, and testing at the border again and the whole shooting match.
People fight back.
That's two federal agents.
Fight back.
They told me this yesterday. And then I went and looked at the news, and there they were saying Canada's looking at new restrictions again. It's the variant, and so is the EU. And what did the Russians just put out 3 days ago? U.S. is plotting another pandemic. Russian head of the defense ministry warns.
Pop, stop it right there. So the Russians put out a thing immediately and said that America is planning a new, you know,
a new strain.
thing.
A new strain.
So the deck is about to go up because people are not. This is going to kill what's left of America.
Right.
It's going to destroy businesses and and everything's going to go up. You know, everything's going to go up exponentially, and all this is happening at the same time. The hyperinflation is rolling in. So when we say it's here, it's here, it's here. Responding to what the elder apostle Tahar said in this video.
Then you got that Nuka Boot talking about fight back. Ain't nothing gonna
Yeah, well, he don't know what
he don't know what's going on.
Look, yeah, he probably a Muslim. Anyway,
Absolutely.
That dumbass, no mustache.
This is
with
Islam
with a
on
beard
your
on the
mind.
bottom.
Yes, absolutely.
That's typically a thing that Ishmael does, or the Muslims do.
Right.
Or Jake, the Islam type cats do.
Islam,
Some of the Amish do that too. Yeah, because that's a bugged out look.
Yeah, but he got too many tats to be Amish.
Because because I don't know, even though if it's really going off, it just look bugged off.
Yeah.
It ain't your beard. It's just weird, Yeah, to have a beard with no mustache. Damn, that's like peanut butter, no jelly. You know what I mean? All right. That don't make sense. It's all gonna backfire on you. All right. Can somebody real quick get Isaiah? We gonna wrap it up. Get Isaiah 33:1, because the world is getting ready to deal treacherously with them, and so with all these things that's coming down the pipe, they need to distract the Americans in the Western world from all the other shit that's happening. So this to get this control over the people again, But I don't think that these Southerners and these militia groups are finally gonna use their pew-pews and it's gonna be a whole back of pew-pew going back and forth real soon. Go ahead, bro.
This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 1. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee.
Right, and so Esau Edom dealt treacherously with his own people here in America, and he dealt treacherously with his with all his comrades, all his allies, and now, go ahead, yeah.
It says, when thou cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled.
So when they go to do all this shit, see, they're trying to control chaos. And chaos can't be controlled.
Right.
So everything's going to hit at once. This is a perfect storm, like St. Benji said. Man. This is a perfect storm coming And on top of that, you got firestorms all over the world too. I mean, uproars of the people. All this shit is all happening at once, man. And it can't, this is a game of Jenga, and eventually you're gonna pull that one piece where
the whole thing falls apart.
It's funny again because we were playing Jenga last week at this block party, and it got to the point where when you have nothing else in the middle and then things to go on the side, it's that one piece like, oh shit, no matter what piece you pull, it's
all coming down.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's pretty much what we are. All right? Is there more to that?
Thank you.
It says, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously.
That's right.
Right. And so, and that's what's happening, man. The nations are making side deals and backdoor deals with America's enemies. Their own allies are making, and the infighting within NATO. There's infighting. They're looking at each other. I believe Italy and France is going back and forth with each other now. So it's over.
That's right.
It's over. We just got to ride out the storm, brothers.
That's right.
That one cop that rolled down with the Twin Towers.
Right.
He made it when everybody else died. The building collapsed, and he just rolled it down. He was good. All right. Hey, so with that, man, I'm gonna give all praises, all glory, and honor
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekabash.
Wow, above the ball.
Above the ball.
Yeah, the Lord was with him that day. He was like, wee.
That's good.
Right. So funny ass ride. That nigga probably